What if there was a place where the future meets the past, where neon lights shine just steps from thousand-year-old temples? A place where snowy mountains touch the clouds, and bamboo forests whisper ancient secrets in the wind. A country where kindness is a way of life, where everything feels different yet somehow familiar. Welcome to Japan. In this travel documentary, I'll take you through some of the most amazing places in the country, from iconic cities to hidden mountain villages. We'll explore dreamy temples, walk beside sacred deer, and see volcanic islands floating in blue seas like they're from another planet. This is not just a guide to Japan. It's a journey through wonder, silence, magic, and memory. We'll start with a few curious facts that make Japan unlike anywhere else. And then we'll go on a trip through the country's most fascinating places. Let's begin. Japan is made up of more than 6,800 islands, but most people only visit a few of them. It's a country where trains are never late, and some have no drivers at all. In some cafes, you can drink tea next to an owl, or a hedgehog, or even a capybara. People here slurp their noodles loudly, not because it's rude, but because it means they're delicious. In Japan, vending machines are everywhere, and they sell everything from hot soup to umbrellas. You'll find forests filled with spirits, streets filled with cats, and bathrooms that feel more advanced than a spaceship. The Japanese language has a word for light filtering through trees. It's called komorebi. There's also a word for finding beauty in imperfection, wabi-sabi. Maybe that's what makes Japan so special. It's not just the places, it's the feeling they give you. Now that you know a bit more about this land of wonder, let's start exploring the hidden corners of Kyoto. Kyoto was once the capital of Japan, and in many ways it still feels like the heart of it. This is the city of 1,000 temples, and yet it's the quiet, forgotten ones that truly stay with you. Step away from the crowds, and you'll find moss-covered gardens, tiny shrines hidden in forests, and monks who sweep the path each morning in silence. There's a temple where every ceiling panel is painted with a dragon, and one where bells echo like soft thunder through the trees. In Gion lanterns flicker at night, and if you're lucky you might glimpse a geisha moving like a shadow through the alleys. You can walk along the Philosopher's Path, a stone trail beside a quiet canal, where cherry blossoms drift like pink snow in spring. Kyoto teaches you how to slow down, how to notice the small things. A teacup filled with matcha, the scent of incense rising from a wooden hall. A golden pavilion reflecting perfectly in still water. Some of these temples have been standing for more than 800 years, untouched by time, unchanged by the world outside. Kyoto is not a place you rush through. It's a place you feel, like a poem or a dream you don't want to wake from. Let's leave the temples now and travel to the most famous peak in Japan. Mount Fuji is more than a mountain. It's a symbol, a legend, a living piece of Japan's soul. You can see it from Tokyo on a clear day, rising like a painting against the sky. But nothing compares to standing near it, breathing the cold air, and feeling its size. In the early morning, when the clouds drift away, Fuji appears, silent and perfect, like it's watching the world from above. People have climbed it for centuries, some for adventure, some for prayer. The trails are long and rocky, but at sunrise, the whole sky turns gold and the effort disappears into the light. Surrounding Mount Fuji are 5 lakes, each reflecting the mountain like a giant mirror. You can take a boat across Lake Kawaguchi, or soak in a hot spring with a view straight to the peak. In winter, the area turns white, snowflakes falling on old villages and red torii gates standing alone in the frost. And in spring, pink blossoms bloom with Fuji in the background. A scene so perfect, it barely looks real. Mount Fuji has inspired poems, paintings, even dreams for generations. It reminds us that nature is quiet, but powerful. Now it's time to leave the silence of the mountain and dive into the electric heartbeat of Japan's capital. Tokyo is massive, bright, loud, fast, and yet somehow incredibly calm. Skyscrapers flash with light, trains whoosh past every few minutes, but in a tiny alley someone's arranging flowers in silence. This is a city of contrasts. You can eat sushi made by a master chef, or grab noodles from a vending machine. One street smells like grilled yakitori, the next like fresh baked melon bread. In Shibuya, the crossing feels like the center of the world. Hundreds of people moving in every direction all at once. But 5 minutes away, there's a garden where koi fish swim under maple trees and you can hear nothing but birds. Visit Akihabara for arcades and anime, or Asakusa for ancient temples and old traditions. The Tokyo Skytree towers above it all, while below people sip green tea in 100-year-old shops. Even underground Tokyo is full of life, with tunnels filled with shops, music, food, and neon lights. And somehow, everything works. No chaos, no shouting, just perfect organized movement. Tokyo doesn't ask you to understand it. It invites you to feel it. And when the night falls, and the lights glow soft and strange, it feels like the future wrapped in memory. Let's leave the city now, and visit a place where gentle creatures roam free. Nara is calm, ancient, and filled with deer. Yes, deer. More than 1,000 of them wander freely through the parks and temple grounds, bowing gently when you offer them a snack. It's a magical place, where sacred animals walk among people, and old wooden temples rise through the mist. The great Buddha of Nara sits inside Todaiji, one of the largest wooden buildings in the world. It's enormous, quiet, and humbling. Outside, stone lanterns line mossy paths, lighting the way through cedar forests that have stood for hundreds of years. Children laugh, deer nuzzle your hand, and bells ring softly in the distance. In Nara, everything moves slower. The buildings are old, the trees are older, and time feels like it flows differently. You'll find ancient poetry carved in stone, tiny shrines hidden near the hills, and locals who greet you with a bow and a smile. Even the air feels softer here. And when you sit in the grass surrounded by deer and light, you realize something. Peace doesn't always need silence. Sometimes it has hooves and eats crackers from your palm. There's an island in Japan where the sea moves like glass, and a red gate floats gently above the water. This is Miyajima, home to one of the most iconic sites in the entire country. The Itsukushima Shrine was built over the water more than 800 years ago, and when the tide is high, it looks like it's floating. The Torii Gate rises from the bay like a dream, glowing orange at sunset, quiet and powerful. When the tide goes out, you can walk right up to it, touch the wood, feel the history soaked into every inch. The shrine itself is built on stilts, with long wooden corridors, bells in the breeze, and views that shift with the ocean. You'll hear the creak of wood under your feet, the call of seagulls, and the gentle splash of waves below. Deer roam freely here too. Soft-eyed and curious, they wander the paths without fear. And at the top of Mount Misen, a short hike through forests and ancient stone paths, you'll see the sea spread out in every direction. Sometimes covered in mist, sometimes glowing in gold. Miyajima is a place of peace, of stillness, of silence you can feel in your bones. It's not just a shrine. It's a moment that stays with you long after the tide rolls in again. Kanazawa is a city where time slows down, but never stops. It's often called Little Kyoto, but it has a soul entirely its own. You can walk through the samurai district, where narrow streets are lined with wooden houses and hidden gardens. There's silence here, a quiet elegance that wraps around you like silk. In Roku in the Garden, at the heart of the city, is one of the most beautiful in all of Japan. Stone bridges cross koi-filled ponds, plum trees bloom beside waterfalls, and every leaf seems placed with care. There's a sense that nothing here is random. Even the gravel feels intentional. Kanazawa is also known for gold. You'll see it in art and temples, even sprinkled on your soft-serve ice cream. The city's geisha districts still echo with music and laughter, and the tea houses haven't changed for centuries. Inside, everything is soft light, sliding doors, and the smell of incense and tea. It's a city of balance, old and new stillness and movement, shadow and light. You don't rush in Kanazawa. You walk slowly, breathe deeply, and notice the beauty in small things. A drop of rain on a maple leaf. The way morning light hits a stone lantern. It's elegance without effort, and it stays in your memory like a quiet song. Up in the north of Japan, where the air turns cold and clean, Hokkaido stretches wide under endless sky. It's wild, vast, untouched in ways most of Japan isn't. In winter, it becomes a snow kingdom. Fields of powder stretch forever. Trees freeze into shapes that look like ghosts, and steam rises from natural hot springs hidden deep in the forest. You can walk through villages where ice lanterns glow at night, their flickering light warming frozen streets. Sapporo, the island's capital, is famous for its snow festival, where massive sculptures rise from ice and light up the city in strange, magical ways. But even beyond the cities, Hokkaido is full of wonder. In summer, flower fields bloom in waves of purple, yellow, and blue. Lavender in Furano, sunflowers in Hokkaido, wild beauty everywhere. You might spot foxes, deer, even brown bears, wandering free across the hills. Lakes here are deep and ancient. Like Lake Mashu, a crater lake so clear they say its reflection looks sharper than reality. You can ride trains that pass through valleys no road ever touches, or hike trails that lead to volcanic lakes and smoking mountains. Hokkaido doesn't whisper. It sings with wind and snow and fire. And if you listen carefully, you'll hear the song of the wild calling you north. Far to the south, where the sea turns turquoise and the wind smells like salt and flowers, Okinawa begins. It doesn't feel like the rest of Japan. It's warmer, slower, softer. Okinawa is made up of dozens of islands, each with its own rhythm, its own quiet magic. Here life stretches out gently. You wake up to ocean breeze, spend your days swimming in coral bays, and your nights listening to the waves. Beaches are empty even in summer. Caves echo with the sound of tides, and sea turtles nest on untouched shores. Okinawa's culture is older than most know. It was once its own kingdom, and you can still see traces in the food, the music, the way people move and speak. Locals live longer here than almost anywhere else on Earth. They laugh a lot, move, often eat simply, and seem to understand something most of us forget. There are castles made of coral stone, shrines built beside banyan trees, and island songs carried by the wind. You can dive into blue holes, drift past manta rays, or just sit on the sand and let the day melt away. Okinawa is a place to rest your mind and open your heart. Naoshima is an island where art blooms like flowers, in museums and fields, even by the sea. It's quiet, small, easy to miss. But once you arrive, you feel like you've entered another world. There's a giant yellow pumpkin by the water, polka-dotted and joyful, standing guard like a playful spirit. The museums here are built into the land, blending with stone light and silence. You don't just look at the art, you walk into it. You feel it in your chest. Works by James Turrell Yayoi Kusama and Tadao Ando sit in spaces so simple, they make you breathe slower. Light passes through slits in concrete. Shadows fall in perfect shapes. Even abandoned houses have become part of the experience. Filled with installations, colors, sounds, ghosts of stories retold in new ways. Naoshima is not loud. It doesn't ask for attention. It whispers, waits, and then moves something in you. In the heart of the mountains, Takayama glows with wooden warmth. It's a town that still feels like old Japan, where merchants once sold, say, candles and silk. You walk down narrow streets, lined with dark wooden houses, sake breweries, and tiny shops filled with handmade crafts. The air smells like cedar and soy sauce. In the morning, the markets open by the river, and you can taste pickled vegetables, rice crackers, and freshly made mochi. People greet you kindly. Not because they have to, but because that's just how things are here. Simple, honest, warm. Takayama's soul is in the details, in the carved beams above a door. In the bell that rings at sunset. In the quiet joy of eating miso soup at a counter where time doesn't matter. At night, lanterns glow softly, and the sound of geta sandals echoes on stone. It's a place that reminds you how beautiful the everyday can be. Japan is not just one place. It's 1,000 tiny moments, each more beautiful than the last. It's the scent of incense in a quiet temple, the sound of laughter over ramen, a mountain, a deer, a train, a wave. It's ancient and modern, still and moving, silent and full of sound. But more than anything, it's a feeling, one you carry long after your journey ends. Close your eyes for a moment and remember what it felt like, because Japan never really leaves you. It stays in your dreams, waiting to be seen again.